Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting and amazing Propagandacast with your host Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, hero of right, defender of the fatherland, the only source of community entertainment. Off here to a 1v1 on Nexus. In the west it is VonLewinski, fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin, here with the 5th Mechanized Corps featuring Guard Motor, ever popular with T-35s, heavy mortars, guards, rifle infantry, vehicle crew repair training, and marked vehicle version. This is Bulat with Grenadier MD-42 and Jaeger infantry with ambush training, Jaeger light infantry upgrades, Jaeger command squads, light artillery barrages, and the Stuka anti-tank strafe here with double infantry and Pantherfast, Grenadier MD-42 versus double conscripts. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them, this episode would not be possible. So a big thank you to all those wonderful people. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon, or you can donate by PayPal. Links are in the video description. And also, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. So off to the races here. Bulat heading southwards with the German army. The 11th Panzer Division, 2nd Panzer Grenadier Company versus VonLewinski's 6th Company of the 5th Mechanized Corps. Contract from the Pioneers in before holding up here, within striking range if necessary, but can still grab the point there at the same time. Grenadiers move towards the centre here. So we can see VonLewinski is basically spreading out very aggressively, hoping to get as much territory at the same time. Also get an idea of how Bulat is positioned. That is typically also how I play the Soviets, if I do play them, sort of more aggressively spread out and trying to figure out where my opponent is and isn't. It is particularly effective as the Wehrmacht. Pioneers closing in here, then allowing the MD-4 to close in here. Good maneuver by Bulat. Good use of the terrain and good use of the assets available to him. Rather than the conscript here, there's still another one here behind heavy cover. Bit tough here for this round around for Bulat to get the machine gun up behind here, so we'll have to see what it does. See the Pioneers meanwhile pretty much line up against the wall, and this will delay Bulat from grabbing the fuel point, at least for a brief while. Except the conscripts fall out of heavy cover there, so connect to move back towards now. Grenadiers moving in. 2nd squad on the way there. 3rd conscript on the way here. Up north, we got the engineers grabbing the point there. Machine is in fact repositioning a bit now here. Pioneers taking heavy losses, and they're just backing out of there before they get hosed again. 2nd Grenadier squad on the way there for Bulat. Others moving towards the car party, hoping to catch those conscripts in the act and shoot them. VonLewinski by here going for 4 conscripts, bit rare here with a guard motor choice. Most people go for triple conscripts, double engineers, and then of course try and get out some guards fairly fast. But VonLewinski clearly has other plans here versus Bulat. Bulat almost got the 3rd Grenadier squad ready here. Grenadiers taking minor losses there from the most of the guns of the conscript squad there. So far though, Bulat is steadily pushing out here, using the machine gun to support his advance as well. Slightly, could be a bit more aggressive perhaps, but at the same time I imagine he's also being a bit cautious. Conscript line up to flank here, very good, using the terrain here to sneak up on the southern positions. Thumbs up there to VonLewinski. Using about ground points up north. No tech yet here for Bulat. Could be planning a 4th Grenadier squad. Backing off on the machine gun here. Perhaps sensing something there. Or perhaps just having spotted something. However, the conscript squad, they're going to be hit by it. It's a close call here for either side still. Conscript heavy covers the MD-42 in the open. Should still be a win for the conscripts, particularly if they get up some good shots. Or apparently win for the machine gun because Yuri stuck his fat head out, allowing the entire unit to get suppressed. Pushing northwards here. Sneak up in the car pond there, which isn't actually leading to anything because Bulat never grabbed the munitions point. But there you go, squad moving to flank. No Molotovs here, which could use to quickly flush the machine gun out. Instead, now the conscript being exposed here by 2 Grenadiers. Now the Grenadiers being exposed to the other conscript squads. Lots of serious crossfires here between the two sides. Now Bulat trying to position the machine, still remaining there. We got more Grenadiers moving. We also got ambush camouflage here for Bulat. Excellent, thumbs up. Still an attack here for Bulat. He's just so caught up in the front line fighting here against VonLewinski and the 5th Mechanized Corps. Forced repositioning stuff here. Pulling up behind the heavy cover there. Bulat though charges head. He holds Grenadiers into this rather strong 3rd position here, which I find is a bit aggressive. Bulat is bringing up the MD-42 to further try and whittle down things here. Bulat seems determined to break the back here of VonLewinski and gain control of the field no matter the cost. And we do get a 4th Grenadier squad. So there's going to be 4 infantry built on both sides, of course. Bulat having the distinct advantage, of course, having the MD-42 backing up his infantry, whereas VonLewinski does not, at least not yet. He could of course try and steal, but there you go. MD-42 veterans won 5 kills in the name of Deutschland. Constantly bled out as they deal with the fascists. There you go. More conscripts around here. Can call in the Jaeger command squad now, and he's still, by the way, yet to take up. You can also begin upgrading some with G33s, the Gewehr 43, which is a fun fact, was actually using part of the Soviet SPT-40 firing mechanism. So, little fun note there. Actually, I think they just straight up copied the firing mechanism from the SPT-40. Not parts of it, they just straight up copied it. Guns putting fire there. Interesting enough, not reacting to the fuel pod here being grabbed and dug in by VonLewinski, at least not yet. Interesting. Bunker there. Still no tech for Bulat. Also no Jaeger command squad or G33s. That said, Bulat has said he's a bit rusty there, so that could possibly, you know, explain things. But the MG32 is definitely hot. Oh, Grenadier squad got wiped here. That is definitely painful there for Bulat. A strike across the face here from the Red Army. Heading for the northern fuel point here, we got Grenadiers basically there, finally taking up there for VonLewinski and the Red Army, and there we go. Jaeger command squad out here for Bulat. Grab the centre for the conscripts. Heading southwards there, more sandbags being laid down here for VonLewinski and the 5th Mechanized Corps here, as the 11th Panzer Division prepares for the next push. Enforcing him in the MU-42. Surprised as to the complete lack of tech here still for Bulat, though I believe we are seeing some G43s as indeed the Gewehr 43. They never had enough to equip all of the members of the German army did, and most typically would be handed out to either the squad leader or the second in command of a squad. So, little fun fact there. Yeah, command squad popping in there. There you go, we got VonLewinski now fairly well dug in. Of course, the G43s and the grenades will help Bulat here breaking through, but still, VonLewinski can slow down things and set up for flank here, using the terrain again to outmaneuver Bulat's attack force. Though VonLewinski, of course, would benefit there, go from a T-70 or some heavy mortars here, in fact. Still, Bulat on the defensive here versus VonLewinski, consequently with Info-2 tearing into it with lethal accuracy. Pioneers flanking the conscripts. Wow, that was a deep flank. I even missed that. That is some real nice work there by Bulat, and there you go, that forced retreat here. That said, of course, Bulat's lack of tech leaves him spectacularly exposed here to the T-70 rush from VonLewinski. That is definitely a very dangerous situation. He's got no telemines, no munitions for the telemines. He's basically got one munition for one Panzerfaust. Meaning he's basically in a furious situation. There you go, finally some tech on the way there for Bulat. But definitely delayed there, and I would say atypically delayed, but again, Bulat there, rusty, so you know, mistakes are bound to happen, but you know, worth noting, you typically want your tech as the Wehrmacht much sooner. As again, 7-minute mark is typically we can expect the T-70 from a server player in a 1v1 match, if they know what they're doing. So definitely dangerous here for Bulat. Not impossibly so, but definitely dangerous. He's laying down telemines, him lucky. Bit risky, they should actually have the gunnies around there to delay, so he doesn't risk getting away with the telemine position here. Now we'll have to see, does VonLewinski put 2 and 2 together? Did he notice it, by the way? And does he then put 2 and 2 together? Or will he just ignore and trample ahead here? That's sort of the big question here. But Bulat will need to rush out the Pack 40 here. Got both fuel pumps briefly though, that's pretty good here for Bulat. Back here in VonLewinski's space, comes the being held up by the medics. And we do get a guard squad here, putting VonLewinski up to 5 infantry squads. That is a fairly infantry-intense force here from VonLewinski. Could definitely be challenging there for Bulat to deal with, though of course having the machine gun will help. And there we go, light to mechanized company finally being built here by Bulat. But I will say it's fairly rare to see the Pack 40 arrive so late after the T-70. I mean, some players will wait till they see folks on the T-70 to get out the Pack 40. Others will get out ahead of time. And in this case, though, it's definitely, you know, didn't have like to tech done before the T-70 arrived. But there you go, Panzer up, I can only 40 on the way. Gonna be retreating there. T-70 roaming about. Got the Northern fuel, gonna be moving in. Pack 40 almost done.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
T-70 rolling ahead, engaging the Grenadiers out in heavy cover, except there's a misclick here. The Grenadiers gets pushed into the wrong side of the cover, immediately fleetly drops dead. There's the T-70 crew, mercilessly executes him. So Bulat once more on the back foot here versus VonLewinski. The T-70, I mean, pretty much is being a massive tool of domination when you don't have an anti-tank gun or, you know, sufficiently many telemines laid down to catch it on. Definitely a bit of a double whammy here in Bulat. Pioneers holding about there. And I believe, yeah, that's going to be a tech hit for VonLewinski. Just looking to leverage his advantage already. Bulat going for the armored car. Obviously wants something a bit more mobile to push back against the Soviets. Guardsmen out in heavy cover. I mean, fairly good use of sandbags here by VonLewinski, by the way. Good work there. Definitely worth pointing out. Panzer can only feel moving up. Going to use the command being part by the T-70. Feels like he's aware he just can't be asked to deal with it. Was he? No, he isn't. And he hits the telemine. The T-70 is finally down. And it wasn't a Pack 40 that did the job. At least he's got it now because he will need it against the tanks incoming. And Bulat, he commits himself to a 5th infantry squad, so it's going to be the Panzer Grenadier. So he's sending back with some more lead infantry. I think that's a very good idea there. I think after that he will need to take up and try and push for some Panzerwaffe here versus VonLewinski and the 5th Mechanized Corps here. And before joining him with some quick ambush burst fire there. Pioneers taking heavy losses up north. Pushed off the southern field point there with some casualties inflicted on Bulat. Good mining by VonLewinski. There you go. Panzer Grenadier out for Bulat there. That's quite the mixed force of infantry. Grenadiers, yeah, command squad, and the Panzer Grenadier. We'll have to see if upgrades to the Panthers with G for the feast or not. Some players like to do that, others do not, and Bulat is one of those that do like to do it. As for VonLewinski, we shall have to see what happens next. He could consider heavy mortar to put more pressure on Bulat. Or he could, of course, just transfer up there for something else. Getting a field gun ready could be an idea here. Can we use your command from wing head here? Guards from the DP light machine could be a problem a bit here for Bulat. They could try and flank him with a Panzer Grenadiers. They're moving up from here and then engage them from a position the guardsmen can't easily reach. I think that could be a fairly good idea here. Joining him in the heavy pack 4 to clear out the sandbags, but the Grenadiers they are being bled dry. Panzer coming up to with the conscripts, immediately dropping Sergei there, and there you go, forcing us to retreat under a unrelenting tide of lead. Yeah, command squad, they're close to being wiped out. Other Grenadiers actually, the command squad is still 3 men. My mistake. Panzer is the conscripts. Grenadiers have from the other side, catching the conscript in the open. And south here we got the MG-42 running up against the conscript there to try to grab the fuel point back. VonLewinski could go for the T-34-6 right now. He could also save up for the T-35. Both, I would say, are viable options, but the T-34-6, as it goes for now, definitely offers the most immediate impact, which I think definitely has some value here versus Bulat, as he's already ahead here, and just looking to leverage that further fact of being ahead. I think is a smart move by VonLewinski. Meanwhile, the Red Army streams through the center here, as the 5th Mechanized Corps charges ahead here. Tech almost done. Grenadiers setting out here. Ground back the southern field point. Bulat definitely is struggling with fuel here versus VonLewinski. Panzer Grenadier, I think, will need to retreat there. There we go. Just been a bad engagement. Otherwise, it's just been too high risk of losing their Panzer Grenadiers. They're so low in health. In particular, versus a guard squad at long range. That is definitely not where you want them to be. Yeah, command squad. Conscript there, rifling it off from a bit. Oh, he's not paying attention, and that results in half the squad gone, allowing the command squad, I think, to fall back fairly easily. And there we go. T-34 on the move here for VonLewinski and the Red Army. Got the tech done there for Bulat. Gonna use some trouble with the guardsmen. T-34-6, that's good, about to put those Grenadiers into trouble. My god, Jürgen, it's a Russian tank! Panzer. I mean, Russian Panzer. Green off as well here. Really trying to get that wipe in there, but Bulat apparently has the double zone like that. That may be running out here in the face of the T-34-6. It just unleashes a storm of death. There we go. Wipe. Bulat's going to be pushing back to 4 squads. That said, it is worth noting that both players are fairly like folks on infantry, both operating with 5 infantry squads, like you did at the high points here, which is definitely worth noting here. Base is being raided by VonLewinski. Good here on the T-34-6 in the south end before to push back the conscripts. Going to do something in the centre. Grabbing the northern field with the guardsmen in the south end before to raid to deal with any advancing socialists.
We are losing a sector.
There we go. He tears into them and cuts apart Dimitri. Fixing up the medic bunker first. They are obviously concerned about possible further raids here from VonLewinski.
Our opponents are seizing a
He has the fuel now for the Panther 4, but we got the Jaeger command corps back up at the Panzer gun moving through the south here in the center. And you need to see that point here, and up north, moving forwards there for your Deutschland. There you go. Support corps here for Bulat. Meanwhile, VonLewinski is not far from another T-34-6. Meanwhile, striking through the south here with a lot of G-33s.
At your command.
Going to need also falling back here. Heading through the north. Counter striking in. And we do get a heavy mortar here for VonLewinski. Basically a matter of timing. The heavy mortar is just really good and really popular for that reason. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge here for Bulat to deal with. Not impossible, but a challenge nonetheless. Falling back here. Panther 4 for Bulat and the 11th Panzer Division. North Eagle is going for the guard squad here. And VonLewinski backs off here. He could have tried taking it out there, but definitely high risk then, particularly with the car point also being under threat from the G-33 Grenadiers. Pretty risky here, and I think those Panzer Grenadiers before they get wiped. Grand Northern Point. Third heavy mortar so far managed 2 kills already. Machine remains in ambush in the south. Panther 4 is right around the corner here for Bulat. Germany, Deutschland. Jaeger command will catch the counter here by the point here. Immediately looking to execute those socialist wankers, and up north here, looks like the gun is on the wrong side of the cabin, thus I'm grabbing the field point. That's a bit awkward. South side, MD42, they're holding up the conscripts, pinning them down fairly fast, but doesn't turn to the conscript there. VonLewinski seizes upon this moment to flank around the MD42 and punish here. Bulat not for paying attention, though he's moving in the Panther 4 to shut that down. And narrowly avoids getting hammered by the heavy mortar. Also grabbing the northern field point now. Panther 4 striking, got sandbags more being laid down here by VonLewinski. Very consistent with that. Good to see. Destroying the other sandbags with the Panther 4, and that just forces VonLewinski into a panic retreat here from the south. Pioneers that are close to being utterly annihilated here by the heavy mortar. VonLewinski could go for another T-34-6 now. He could also transfer for the T-35 here to help deal with the Panther 4. A bit more efficient. He's going for the field gun. This is 3. Panther 4 shoots, directly hits the heavy mortar itself. There you go, hits one of the gunners. Field gun almost done here for VonLewinski and the Red Army. Of course, with the anti-tank gun production 1 bulletin, he can basically rush it out incredibly fast. It's probably one of the most popular bulletins for that reason. Of course, just being able to get out your anti-tank gun really fast in response to the issue is really good. Panther 4 slaughtering the counter, the heavy cover turning out to be not much against the Panther 4S. There we go, it slaughters the entire counter. A striking blow here against VonLewinski and the 5th Mechanized Corps. Guards with the control as the Panther 4 moves in there, and 10 kills already. The service of Deutschland, 11 kills. The Guards Corps, they're also sent packing here, as Bulat's Panzerwaffe strikes forward in the name of Deutschland, das Reich. South here, Panzer capturing the field gun off guard, looking to execute the gun as fast, but VonLewinski has a overwhelming presence there that pretty much means this is going to be a really silly thing to attempt any longer. And Bulat wisely retreats here. He can also go for another Panther 4 now. That's very good. We got more telemines in the north here from Bulat. Thumbs up. Telemines are always a good thing to lay down here and there as the Wehrmacht. Mines win wars, and telemines in particular win wars. And the actual war telemines were also really great satchel charges, in a sense, like you could just chuck them in front of infantry attacks and blow them out. In fact, the Germans did that on the Eastern Front. They chuck a few alongside massive satchels of grenades and then just throw the telemines into the advance of an infantry attack and just detonate it. So, little fun fact there. Sandbags in the center. No Panther 4 yet. Does Bulat have other plans? A Panther? A Stug? Ein Ostwind? Or is he just forgetting about it? I don't know. Country they caught here by the Panther 4. Charging through here. There we go. Second Panther 4 for Bulat. Germany, Deutschland. VonLewinski slow to the T-35. .339 versus 351. T-35 being fixed up. Panzer delivers the conscripts. Panther follows the conscripts. And we got about Jenny van Bulat. Oh, and the guards fought there. VonLewinski quickly dodged out of the way, but still takes some losses from that, so that's pretty good there for Bulat. And obviously a bit painful for VonLewinski, though he is using conscripts to merge with the guards from time to time, so not that big of a loss. VonLewinski inching ever closer to the T-45, and he definitely needs that here, I think, to really challenge Bulat's Panzerwaffe. Rushing the T-34 from 6 north. Back at base here for Bulat, nothing further happening. Pack 40 getting hammered here by the third heavy mortar. No, he goes for another T-34 from 6. Guess it just didn't want to save up for the T-35, just ends up going for another T-34 from 6, in which case he could have done this a lot sooner and honestly been more possible and close go for another one already, so one of those times where, indecision can prove a bit risky. North East Pentacle pushing forward, so they should add the pin-up machine gun if possible. Almost got the other T-34 and 6 ready. And drives right around the Pack 40 here. That's it, fairly risky setup there for Bulat. I mean, if the T-34 caught it from another angle, the Pack 40 would be fairly toast. So, not what I'd call a super great positioning of the Pack 40, to be honest. Another T-34 out there for VonLewinski in the south here. We got the Germans trying to push through here. VonLewinski is quick to line up a line of defense here and slow that down. Bulat can soon go for another Panther 4. He's definitely ahead there in terms of overall numbers of tanks. More Pioneers for Bulat, so good. Ooh, we've got Tier 4 now for Bulat being planned. Got 328 versus 303. That Pack 40 continues to be slightly... Well, this time it's better supported with machine gun and continues backing up here. We do still have the guards sneaking a few hits. Then, of course, the heavy mortar could also prove to be a problem. That's it in terms of victory points. Bulat's very much control the situation now. Whatever advantage VonLewinski had has very much been kicked to the curb here beneath the mighty jackboots of Bulat. Tech almost done there, in which case again we'll probably see the heavy Panzer call. Question is, Sturmpanzer, Panzerwerfer, or will it be a Panther? Who knows? 5 kills on the heavy mortar. Very, very close to Veterans who won, but not quite there. T4 roaming for the south here as Bulat, or VonLewinski realised the south has been completely abandoned here by Bulat. Can build the heavy Panzer core now. And imagine the way the Pioneer set up, he's planning that. More sandbags, very good. Just in time before Bulat's attack strikes here. T4 ready to support, but there you go. Crunch caught slightly position, now they're already low on health. And their cover crumbles beneath here in withering and scathing attack here of Bulat. Up north, the heavy mortar wipes the infantry crew there. But without anything to follow up, and it doesn't necessarily matter too much as Bulat can just recruit. Still heavy Panzer core. Field gets off the hit shot there. Pack 4 closing right with heavy mortar. We got 9 kills. Veterans who won here. Heavy mortar is, I think, fairly well picking itself off. There you go. Almost wipes the entire pack crew. Heavy Panzer core up there for Bulat. And VonLewinski could actually go for another T-34 from 6. Or again, he could go for the T-35. But I definitely think he needs more armor. Airstrike called in here. The Stuka Kanonenvogel calling in. Almost got the Grenadier Squad of Panther getting into in there. You go. Does move the tank in time. And oh! Got lucky there, got very lucky. But still no T-34. Either 76 or 85. And certainly not the T-34-57. And 122 is right up because neither of those two are in the game. T-35 and the Panzer Grenadier. We got 320 and 229. Still no tanks here for VonLewinski. And Bulat, well... we'll have to see what he goes for. But the situation is definitely looking fairly favoured here by the Germans. Machine gun also recruit here. A few plucky grenadiers, though worth noting. No ambush camouflage for those, though technically they are wearing it. Smoke here from VonLewinski. Thumbs up. Sandbags again. Field gun remaining in reserve. Well, Bulat can now go for the Sturmpanzer, but something telling me he might be going for a Panther. VonLewinski commits to another T-34-76. Gunny's pushing forwards here. Panther flanking the conscripts. Hey, mortar firing away. And there you go. Panther for Bulat, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Quickly send them packing. He gets caught right in front of the pack forward and the Panther forward, and definitely a bit awkward there. Still, VonLewinski's also playing a lot more conservatively now. Like, he needs to be more aggressive, but he's playing a lot more defensively. He's allowing Bulat to much more easily just hold a large chunk of the map here. There you go, third T-34 ready, but soon Bulat will have his third tank ready, and that will be a Panther, which is definitely a few steps above the T-34-76. T-34 flanking the Panther, shot bounces though. Good hit there, T-34 from the other side. There we go, Panther for Bulat. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Being Sabbath in the machine in the pack, we got a deep flank here for Bulat, the Panzer Grenadiers with the Gewehr 43s, the bun grenades, and their interrogation skills. Wait, no, not that one. In the center there, Panther forming forwards, the armor gun there, and they got the Panther backing up here. T-34-76 quickly falling back here. No pin machine in the Panther in the south here. The Panther being met here with the T-34-76. Need to move the pack 40 up to assist another field gun here for VonLewinski, I think, in response to the Panther. The sight of its glorious hull there convinces him he needs more anti-tank guns. Now it's pushing the pack 40 forwards, but without infantry support, it's a bit more risky. Got the Grenadiers moving in though. Pack 40 taking a light head here. Panther moving forwards. Panther getting flanked here. It's a bit messy here. Could be a moment that VonLewinski could exploit this messiness, this chaos, to perhaps turn the game around against Bulat, or he could fail and get destroyed. Confidence suppressed, push back here as Bulat strikes for Germany. Deutschland. The Panther pushes forward, shot bouncing off his armor like insults against someone who's very confident. Panther 4 then need repairs. T-34 holding up in the south here. We got the Grenadiers moving forwards, machine gun moving in there. Panther they could do with a pinlight machine gun. MG4 sitting up here. And ambush camouflage also unleashed here. Panther takes several hits here, but pushing through the armor with contemptuous ease at this point. The anti-tank is also doing it. We got 379 situation. VonLewinski is definitely turning sour. MG4 called out in the open by the T-34-76 as the conscripts and death. Hey, mortar firing down, death. Murder. We got there. Another strafing run here against him. And he thinks the artillery though, so he quickly retreats here. So just worrying about the tank, causing complete collapse in the south here. VonLewinski, which Bulat could exploit here with his armor and infantry. So it ended up being a fairly good bluff in a sense. Though, not really. I mean, it costs more, but I guess it's like, you know, unintentional side effect there. Panther going for the other T-34 in the north here. Most of VonLewinski's armor is heavily damaged and unserviceable. But he's not quite ready for combat now as Bulat controlled most of the field. The Red Army has been pushed almost all the way back now as Bulat and the 11th Panzerdivision is in control here. Panther receiving repairs immediately. Still could benefit from a pinler mount to MG42. Fun fact about the Panthers came about in response to the T-34-76. In fact, early, you know, shall I say, drawings of the Panther, what would become the Panther in his tank, actually looked very much like a German T-34-76. Though obviously, that changed significantly over time as they sort of came towards the final model. Panther up north, we got Telemans here from Bulat. Something bad here, commands book, and Panther's holding up here as well. Telemans up north, very good. Ready from the pack forward, the Panther that shoots misses. Shot bounces though. That does not. And the anti-tank grenade does not either. I mean, technically it's possible for the anti-tank grenades to bounce in theory, but I've never seen them do it. I've occasionally seen Pantherfaz bounce, but never an anti-tank grenade, I think. Bunker up there for Bulat. I'm guessing a command medic bunker there. As that machine gun bunker doesn't make much sense. If this machine bunker doesn't make much sense. Still, fundamental push edit. That said, he's attacking from more or less the exact same parts. He's been doing the same few times. He's not trying to like catch Bulat off guard. Which I think limits the utility. There you go. Bulat calling an artillery strike on the field guns. Panther need repairs. Bunker up there for Bulat, Germany, Deutschland. And there we go. It is in fact a command bunker. Very much within expectations. Up north here, about the centre, we got the guy pushing forward here. VonLewinski starting to slightly swing the attack elsewhere, but it is being met with stiff German resistance here from Bulat. Minor loss in the conscripts. Command bunker up there for Bulat. Bit late to the party there. And there we go. Conscript being absolutely just flogged to death here by the Panther Force high explosive shells. Got the advancing Jaeger command squad and the Panzer Grenadier. We got the grenade off there. Completely whiffs on that one. Tiefel rolling ahead here. They're moving for the south. There we go. Pack and Panther getting off some great hits against the Tiefel Force from 6. Field gun that gets returned here on the Panther. Don't know why the Panther shoot at that, but it meant to miss out. And there you go. Ramming attack on the Panther. Damaging the engine right in front of the field gun. That could be the NT of Bulat's Panther. Ooh, got lucky. Shot bounced, but in with a damaged engine. He'd need to get another lucky bounce there, and he did not. Tiefel running forward here for VonLewinski. Nice shot there. 82 again in the Panther. We got marked target off there. Command bunker destroyed. That's it. The situation for VonLewinski is looking pretty dire and desperate. He's got 40 points left. There's 3% here of Bulat. Aircraft shot down. His tank's about to burst into flames if the Panther Force can hit them. With that, VonLewinski surrenders. A loss here for the Red Army. A victory for Deutschland. A fierce fight here in Nexus with a lot of back and forth action. But in the end, Bulat proved stronger in the end. I feel like VonLewinski slightly was a bit uncertain. He also completely failed to like make use of his munitions. No mines, I think, was a definite mistake there by VonLewinski. But also, like, you know, the way he approached in terms of tactics, I think became more and more increasingly narrow and predictable here for Bulat, which made it easier for Bulat to deal with them as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell friends, tell family, but not your enemies. This is Imperial 20 years. Thank you for watching. Till tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.